Hello everyone, it's Sam Gregory again, and I want to show you some images from the south of France, sort of highlighting the colour aspect of things and how looking for colour when you're out and about, especially in different climes and different countries, can be a nice way just to put a set of images together. So let's get into it. Okay, so there's three images I want to talk about, and these are all shot in a courtyard in Vence, which is a small town in the south of France where we'll visit on our tour in the coming months. And so I wanted to actually just mention that colour is really important sometimes, especially if you're shooting in small villages, Mediterranean obviously, but wherever you might be in the world, often you'll find there's beautiful colours, and here in Vence there's a lot of that. So appealing to me at this point was this terracotta sort of colour and the contrast between that, the light frame around this window, and obviously the green. Now I would concede this composition isn't necessarily particularly strong, and I don't really like necessarily these cracks and the drain and all the rest of it at the bottom. But what happens sometimes is you find a scene and something appeals to you, and you take your camera out and you take a shot. Now the trick is then to ask yourself, well, what appealed to me? And does my shot, focus in, not literally, but does it concentrate on the aspect that appealed to me? And the answer here is not really, crudely. However, if we jump on, this is what I would then go to. I would try to really, really focus on the appeal, and the appeal is the texture that you can feel in that wall from the way it's been painted, and then it's about balancing a composition. So often I find if you have simple compositions with lines straight across the bottom and then verticals straight up, that can work quite nicely. And actually in this scenario, I believe, although this is potentially a little bit ugly and you'd be tempted to take it out, I feel it really balances the composition. And just to demonstrate that, if we just look at it how it is now, and then I'm going to do a really, really rough, crude job taking it out just for the purposes of the conversation. I personally feel that it's not as strong now because we've got nothing anchoring this left-hand side back, and because this line also sort of recedes or descends is probably the right word, down to this right-hand side. For me, the whole image starts to just feel quite right-hand heavy, as if it actually wants to sort of topple to that right-hand side. So it's interesting that sometimes those sorts of little elements that we had over here can make a difference. Another view of it is this doorway. Obviously we're in the same courtyard, and perhaps here I just feel it's stronger than the first image because we're not just flat on, we've actually turned now and there's a bit of an angle. And if we sort of deconstruct that a bit further, often I look for things, I look for shapes, as I've discussed, triangles, circles, but also squares. And when you actually start to break down just how many shapes are in things, it gives you an idea of an actual flow of an image as well. So my personal favourite actually of the three is this central one, because it really focuses in on why I appreciated that scene. Anyway, that's it on this one. If you have any questions about the processing or printing or whatever, colours even, just drop them in the comments box, and I'll be back with another video very soon.